It's important to stand alongside people who suffer far more grievously, and so tonight was a chance to speak in solidarity with people who are Uyghurs, who are suffering genocide in Xinjiang, the chance to stand with the people of Tibet who are suffering so grievously, a chance to stand with the people of Hong Kong who have seen so many of their liberties and freedoms taken away from them, and a chance to speak alongside people from Taiwan who worry what the future may hold, and a chance to stand with people who protest on behalf of those suffering for their religious beliefs or their political beliefs, journalists who've been incarcerated, lawyers who've been thrown in jail, a chance to speak about those things and to show solidarity. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, do you think the UK government did enough to press the Chinese government?
Governments of all persuasions all over the world have not done enough, and only today in Parliament I've been calling on the British government to do more to speak up about Taiwan, and I've suggested that they should get together with other free nations. Don't have to do it through the United Nations, which has been subverted by the CCP, but other free nations should stand in solidarity and recognise the sovereignty of Taiwan. Why on earth should we be silenced on something as important like that? All the belligerence that there is at the moment, the bellicose noises, and because of what is happening in Ukraine, that makes it very dangerous for Taiwan as well. You could very easily see Putin and Xi standing together and taking away the freedoms and liberties of two very different parts of the world. But that's why we should be standing up and speaking about it now, not when it's too late.
Okay, the last question. Can you tell me about the BNO visa amendment? Can you tell me more about the amendment?
Next week I have an amendment before Parliament which would extend the BNO scheme to young people who are the children of BNO holders born after 1997. At the moment they are excluded from the BNO scheme, which is a generous and good scheme that the British government introduced, and they should be congratulated for doing that. But I think it's a terrible oversight, but some of the very people who have been fighting for democracy in Hong Kong don't qualify for that scheme. So I've retabled the amendment that was first considered in the House of Commons. It will come up in the Lords next week. My colleagues Chris Patten and Charles Faulkner, who is the former Lord Chancellor, are signatories to the amendment with me. It's gained all party support, and if we don't get the government to concede on this, then I will force it to a vote, not next week, but when it comes back for what's called report stage, and that would then ensure that the issue goes right back to the floor of the House of Commons for further consideration. But I hope it won't come to that. I hope that the government will agree to the amendment.
But will the amendment be passed by the Parliament? Because last time the amendment cannot pass the Parliament.
This amendment was originally tabled in the House of Commons by Damien Green, but it wasn't taken to a vote. But MPs there in the Commons said it can be looked at again further in the House of Lords, and if no progress has been made on the issue, they said we hope that this will be retabled. I have retabled it with all party support, and I've been working with Damien Green from the House of Commons, and I'm in discussion directly with the Home Office. They're listening to our arguments, and they know that we have a lot of support on the floor of the House of Lords, and I will force it to a vote if it becomes necessary, but I won't force a vote if we get agreement.
But when will the amendment be enforced?
There won't be a vote at committee stage because there never is, or very rarely is, in the House of Lords. So next week won't be the vote, but the bill will come back in another couple of weeks for what's called report stage, and that's when there will be a vote if there's been no agreement with the government.
Okay, thank you so much, Alton.
Then that's a pleasure.
Thank you so much.